Alexa, stop. We're recording a podcast. Things that Carson has talked about that have not made the podcast cut, but while we've been recording the podcast. Girls, breakups, what he's frustrated about with girls, how he's frustrated about how breakups and stuff happen, his loneliness. All of these things are things that he just brings up. I'm like, so Avatar, and then Aang does this cool stunt, and Carson's like, so like me and so-and-so broke up, and this is how I'm feeling about it. And I'm like, dog, I will be a good friend, and we can talk about this all you want. What about Aang doing his cool stunt made you go, oh, this is probably a good time to bring this up? Should we do a shirtless app?
Yes!
Ah!
Guess what time it is? It's actually time for Star Wars now.
Yeah, we're actually doing frick!
Video
Goes out
podcast.
to anyone, but it's also audio. You can close your eyes. Don't you want
Me, baby! Don't you want me?
Move the mic back. If you're gonna be that loud, you have to move the mic back.
Did we just get our intro? I feel like it felt like I had like a look of panic on my face when that happened. Welcome to Toon In, the podcast where we do the crap.
No, actually, you don't have to do it. If you're gonna do that, you don't have to do an intro, because the weird thing is, nobody's gonna listen.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tune In.
Working as a waitress in a
Okay,
hotel
so this is the show where we talk about cartoons and how they have intellectual value and are good for, and how some cartoons can be good for all ages. And we've talked about shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Dragon Prince, Justice League Unlimited, and now we're jumping on the with the release of Disney Plus and The Mandalorian. We're jumping on the Star Wars hype train, and we're finally starting Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So we watched the first movie and then the first 2 episodes of season 1, and that's we're gonna be recapping the movie this episode. So don't you want me, baby?
So what? Tell me about the story. Okay, first of all, we're not doing the movie in the first 2 episodes this time. They're 2 separate episodes.
Yeah, I kind of just got ahead of myself there.
The thing is you're probably trying to time it right for me getting to the drop of the song, but I was a little too quiet for you to hear, maybe. So we're talking about the Clone Wars movie. Hey, what's your hot take on the Clone Wars movie?
Garbage.
It's kind of bad. I wouldn't say garbage, because like there are things they do right.
True.
Like the Obi-Wan character's still cool.
And like every scene that doesn't have Ahsoka in it's actually pretty good.
I wouldn't even say that, because I think the plot's kind of bad too.
Yeah,
I think
you're
Anakin's written worse. Oh, dude, my glasses haven't been on for a minute since I took off my shirt. I've been like, why? I was no joke thinking, why can't I see anything? Anakin's not written as well as he is.
Oh yeah,
I think the plot's kind of dumb.
Could have been done so much better.
Yeah, I don't think the plot's like that good. Like, the animation's good. The character design still rules. Like we talked about that.
The character design
I fell asleep last week.
Yeah.
The character design's cool.
I love the art style.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's cool.
Obi-Wan's never not cool.
I bet there's a sucky episode with Obi-Wan in the show.
No.
There's a lot of the show.
There's just 6 seasons. The 6th season only has 13 episodes in it. So
But the rest of them have 20.
22. So let's see, that's 5 times 22. So let's see, 10 times 22 is 220 divided by, that's 110 plus 123 episodes and a movie.
6 seasons and a movie, dude. Have you seen Community?
No.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that joke. Yeah, the movie's kind of bad. Actually, yeah. It's not. I would give.
We were watching this and we were just like, this was in theaters.
Yeah, I would give it like a 5 out of 10. What's your hot take on Star Wars?
As a whole,
Yeah.
Bruh.
Like, are you a big Star Wars boy? Because like I am.
When I see when I see like a movie trailer for a movie I'm hyped for, I'm just like, yeah, I can't wait for this. And but then like when I see like a trailer for a Star Wars movie, like, or when I hear about a new Star Wars thing being announced, I get giddy. I soil my pants. So basically, this movie starts out where they're doing a raid on this planet, and there's so many planets in the Star Wars universe that I can never remember what's what.
It doesn't matter at all.
They're on Crystal. It's like
Crystalsis?
Crystalsis or something like that. Crystal something.
Crystal meth.
Crystal meth. Yeah.
They're on crystal meth. Go ahead.
So, tripping balls.
Yeah, dude, they're all on crystal meth, which is like weird. It's like really weird that it was like a kids movie in theaters, but everybody was on crystal meth. It was so crazy.
Sometimes I think the writers were.
Yeah, because they thought Ahsoka was a good idea, which like she eventually is, just not in the movie. Like Ahsoka's eventually cool.
Right.
And, like, actually one of my favorite characters, like, Season 2 on, Ahsoka becomes one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, but, like in the first season, it's just like, who is the sassy lost child?
I hate her. I think she's so obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I get, like, she has, like, arc, I guess, and, like, grows up, kind of, but also, I think they could write her just a little less obnoxious, like, a little less painful to watch for the first season. Whatever, not important.
So, yeah, they start out fighting this war against the Separatist army, and they're, like, clearly losing the battle. The Republic is, so it's Anakin, Obi-Wan, and then their clone troops that they're commanding. And then about halfway through the battle, there's like kind of like a break in the fighting, and a Republic troop transport flies down and kind of like all the like the commanders and
Clones.
Yeah, all like the commanders and the Jedi generals are having like a little powwow to kind of plan their next.
That's actually what they called it too, powwow. Sorry, go ahead. Just
They're having a little meeting to decide what they're going to do next, like a little tactics meeting, and this transport comes in and drops off this sassy lost child that nobody likes. And
until season 2.
Until season 2.
Because she is good in season 2, like objectively good.
Yeah. And so Ahsoka joins the battle, and
it's like a plot twist.
Yeah, it's like a plot twist because she shows up and she's like, I'm the Padawan learner that was assigned to the Jedi Master here, and then Obi-Wan's just like, oh, I guess I'm gonna train you, and then the
psych, it's Anakin.
And then Ahsoka says, actually, Master Yoda said that I'm supposed to train under Anakin, and Anakin's just like, ah, oh,
and
no.
The whole time she's saying that, she's farting and smelling her own fart. It's weird.
Picking her nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Anakin's just like, aw, heck no. And so he metaphorically tries to run away from the situation, but Obi-Wan's just like, oh, I guess you get to train a Padawan now.
Good for you. You're crazy loud all of a sudden. Keep going.
So Anakin reluctantly takes her under his wing, and they kind of go off to execute the mission, and Anakin has to change up his plan a little bit because now he's got to babysit a child.
And then they sneak through like a shield as the army marches on them, and they're gonna go shut down the shield. So
but they hide under a box.
Big cannons can shoot them. And this is the thing I wanted to talk about a little bit. The all ages approach to writing shows, because that's like the idea is like we're watching all ages shows. This movie, I think, struggles with leaning towards like the kind of dumb kiddishness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of a good. So I could see them doing something like this in Avatar. But like the way it would be done in Avatar is tones everything. So like if they were sneaking past the Fire Nation with like an upside down trash can, it'd be played as a goof. Like even if it worked, it would be portrayed as silly.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason, like even as a kid, when this movie came out, I was probably like the perfect age for this show when like this was coming out.
Yeah.
I even thought this scene was. I was like, what? They flip it upside down? Like what are you talking about? That's stupid.
Pull a Solid Snake.
Like yeah, even as a kid, I thought it was dumb.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, the droids aren't very intelligent.
Well, like, I understand that, but like it's bad and dumb.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do that, have them like do a cooler thing. Like why can't there just be a sewer system that they go into? Why can't they just go into a sewer system?
Because that would take writing abilities.
It doesn't. It takes there's less writing. Here, there's these tunnels. They're just there. There's just tunnels on this.
But they
planet.
didn't even take the time to explain how the box got there.
Yeah, like they just go and they're under a box, and I'm like, this sucks. And it's not played as Goose. Like it's played as this brilliant tactical plan, like that Anakin has. And I'm like,
but it isn't even Anakin's plan.
Was it Ahsoka's plan?
I can't remember.
I think it's Anakin's plan. Because she's like, how are we going to get past all of the people, Master?
We'll cut through the desert. No.
She's like, how are we going to get past all of the droids, Master? And then she farts and smells it again.
No, like, not Master.
Even as a kid, that sucked too.
Yeah.
Dude, Ahsoka's bad. And it's so weird because, like, Ahsoka does become so cool, and since I've seen all of this show before, it's extra frustrating because I want to get to cool Ahsoka who does cool stuff and isn't annoying, and it makes annoying Ahsoka suck that much more. Yeah, she calls him Sky Guy, and that sucks. And she freaking, like, they flip the box upside down, and it's treated as, like, this master plan, and I'm like, then why are the droids ever a threat? Ever.
Just everyone wears a box everywhere.
Have everybody make your tanks look like boxes and shoot the droids. Like, this is it's so frustrating to me. And I get it. It's for kids. But, like, nothing this stupid happened in Avatar. And if it was like a silly, dumb thing that's to make you laugh. And not, like, portrayed as, like, this is really smart. Like, even a kid that, like, is the age for this show is old enough to go, well, if I played hide and seek and put a trash can over me, I couldn't just start walking around. They would find me.
Mm-hmm.
That really frustrates me because, like, it feels like...
And then they run into the droid that's, like, facing the opposite direction and just standing there.
That was funny to me, though. Yeah, because, like, the droid was facing the wrong way.
Just standing there in the back, not advancing with the rest of the troops, and he was facing the opposite direction.
Yeah, dude, even as a kid, it frustrated me.
Why? Because the plot wills it.
It frustrates me now, because, like, looking back on it, it's like they don't think kids are, like, they're like, oh, kids are dumb. Like, it'll be fine.
This movie is an example of the shows we're not trying to get you to watch.
At, like, some points. But, like, some points are, like, kind of neat. Like, they're, like, neat things that happen in this. Like, death happens a lot. Like, that's a cool thing I think about the show.
Someone actually did a body count of how many clones died in the show, like in its entire runtime, including the movie.
A lot.
It was a big number.
Yeah, dude. Like, a lot of things die. There's a lot of big stakes. Like, they deal with starvation. They deal with, like, problems of war. They deal with, like, a lot of, like, heavy things
Treachery,
in the show. And it's really cool.
turncoats.
Yeah, like, it's really, really cool to see. But, like, this movie sets up some of that, but then also has, like, weird things like this. So, again, I fell asleep a little bit, and I'm hazy. They introduced
I don't know what you're complaining about, Sky Guy.
The stupid baby hut. Or, not the baby hut,
Yeah, it's a baby hut.
But no, the idiot hut, though, has, like, the dumb voice. Is that in this movie?
Okay, not gonna lie, it took me until after they killed off this character for me to determine whether or not this character... Because
It's not killed off. She comes back. It's a girl.
No, it's a dude.
It's a voice. I promise you it's voice acted by a girl.
Yeah. No, I thought they kill him in, like, season 2 or 3. Like, one of the bounty hunters shoots him.
No, they free him.
Pretty sure he gets
Cad Bane
assassinated.
frees him.
I'm pretty sure not Cad, but someone else shoots him. Pretty sure.
I don't think... Maybe.
Like, later on down the line, because I remember that, and I was really happy when that happened.
Yeah, dude. Like, this... But, like, they're in the movie. Right?
Yeah, and I could not, for the longest time, like, they specifically say in the movie that it's a dude, but, like, I missed that, like, my first time through, and from then on out, I just could not tell if it was a guy or a girl.
If you had a gun to my head right now, I would have said a girl.
Yeah.
Also, if you're wondering what this person's voice sounds like, it was like they put a voice actor in the booth and went, just make it unlistenable. Just unlistenable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, make it have, like, a high, gross, squooshy sound, and also a hick accent.
I swear, I was only doing it for the betterment of the Hood clan.
And you're like, it's so weird that I'm watching this movie, but my ears are bleeding.
It's a little bit raspier than that, but it's kind of like that.
It's so weird that my ears are just squirting blood.
I'm arguably worse than Ahsoka.
And the fact that the Hut was sick, I also found stupid as a kid.
Yeah.
That the baby Hut had a fever.
The toxic sludge can get sick.
That was funny.
Sneezed on the beat and the beat got sicker. I sneezed on the Hut and the Hut got sicker.
The Hut is the crap. Put Febreze on it.
I hate Huts.
but like, hey, there's really cool things. The animation we already talked about. The fight scenes in this are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They even
everything's all of the fight scenes are like super energetic and stuff like that.
In the movie, even in the movie.
And sometimes the banter between the droids is funny.
Yeah, droids are fun. Like, there's legitimately funny moments in this movie. Even in this movie, and they do a better job in the show. Well, it's character development stuff, so they have more time in the show, obviously. But, like, they do a little bit of, like, getting to know the clones, and the clones have, like, dialogue and a little bit of personality to them.
They, I feel like one of the main things that the show tries to set up is how the clones weren't just mindless soldiers. Like, they were people. They had personalities. They had individuality. And, like, as the show goes on, they, like, build up the individuality of each clone. Like, at the beginning, like, a couple clones have, like, standout-ish features. Like... But then as the show progresses, like, more and more clones, like, start doing things to stand out, like dyeing their hair or, like,
getting tattoos.
Or, like, getting tattoos or painting their armor, all kinds of stuff. And
the continuity of that's also really good. Like,
yeah.
they'll be like, yeah, this person has this on their thing, and they always have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole time.
Yeah, and they do a really good job at, like, helping us see that they're not just expendable. Like, they're people that have personalities, and especially when we get to the training academy arc later on down the line. I loved that arc so much.
Rookies is one of my favorite episodes still.
Mm-hmm.
And like continuity stuff in Rookies. It's a spoiler or whatever. We're not gonna get in depth or whatever. But like one of the clones gets blood from an alien on their hand, and then they hit one of the other clones.
That's not the episode I was talking about, but that is a good arc.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's one episode, but like. Continuity stuff. It has a handprint on his chest. It's also cool that the show. So, I mean, we're talking about like the show, kind of, but actually, no. We'll talk about the show later. We're talking about the movie. We'll talk about the show.
Yeah, we kind of got excited about the good stuff.
Actually, we will talk about the show, but we're doing this for the Mandalorian hype, as he said. The next time we record a tune-in, it's actually going to be Dragon Prince.
Yes.
Because Dragon Prince comes out Friday.
Heck yeah,
next
dog!
Friday. Not tomorrow, but next Friday. I think. Hold on.
Black Friday?
Let me check again.
Which is going to throw everyone for a loop by the time this goes out, because people will be like, that was 3 months ago.
Yeah, dude. No, that's not true. Coming Friday. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, so we'll be watching Dragon Prince. And we'll go over that, and then we'll circle back around Star Wars to jump on that what's it called? Did they say it? Last Skywalker or whatever?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
Because no one's ever really gone.
We'll jump on that hype train. But, so they have to go rescue the baby Hut, because the baby Hut was kidnapped, and then the baby Hut gets sick, and then it's just kind of like a...
To be completely honest, it felt like...
The Trade Federation are trying to make it look like the Republic stole the baby, but the Republic didn't steal the baby, and then there's like a lot of like hijinks that go on in the movie, and then
to be completely honest, it felt like it was 3 separate storylines throughout the movie. To me, even though 2 of those separate storylines were still the same storyline, like because you got the Battle of Crystalsis at the beginning, and then you have the whole Hut thing. And, like, the whole Hut thing, like, it feels like there are 2 distinct parts to me. Like, I remember watching through it, like, the first time I saw it and be like, it felt like 2 separate storylines.
It feels more like 3 episodes of a TV show and less like a cohesive movie.
Yes.
Like, and, like, it was like somebody, like, vaguely understood the idea of a 3-act structure, but, like, not really. Mm-hmm. Like, 3 parts to it. You're like, kind of.
Credits start about 2/3 of the way through the movie, and then they just stop. They realize that wasn't where they were supposed to go.
But, like, Ventress is in this. Ventress is cool. Yes. Like, they do some crazy stuff, like the witch stuff that happens later in Ventress. Like, they sowed the seeds for how great the show can become in this movie. The show is not without merit. You get introduced to Ahsoka. Here's a fun question. Like, we're kind of... How long are we on? Yeah, we talked enough. Like, the show... It's like a kind of like weird whodunit, but like you know whodunit the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, yep, everything kind of gets solved and works out good, and in the end for the Republic. But Dooku...
This show does help Dooku because, like...
is cool in the show?
Yeah, and, like, we get some cool character building for him that we didn't get in the movies. Because, like, in the movies, he's kind of introduced and then killed off as fast as he came in.
Well, the coolest thing is, like, that's what the writers of the show did. Of the show. Like, they went on record as saying, like, they think that, like, they're not arguing that the prequels have problems. They're like, prequels have problems, but they were like, some of the main problems with the prequels is, like, they were so fast and rushed that, like, nobody had a good arc. They're like, Anakin goes from being cool Anakin trained by Obi-Wan to, like, emo boy ready to kill children in the Jedi Temple in, like, less than half a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, like one of the things they wanted to do with this episode was, like...
You mean with this series?
Yeah, sorry, with the series. It was, like, show, like, kind of Anakin getting put on a path. And, like, getting, like, a wedge being, like, drawn between him and, like, the Jedi Order and stuff like that. So we're, like... If you watch the show, it doesn't fix all of the problems that, like...
But it helps.
But, like, it helps, especially motivation for, like, characters and, like, reason characters are acting in a certain way and stuff, make way more sense if you watch the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which
so,
is
like,
cool.
Character building for Anakin, for Dooku, for Grievous, and it even helps, like, tie in some of the extended universe characters that got cut out with the Disney overlords taking over.
Also,
it's
just
like,
some dope...
Like, they brought back Quinlan Vos because, like...
Yeah.
He's a pretty dope character.
Also, just, like, some dope stories, though. Like, the story when, like, the clone troopers are training. That whole story arc's dope as heck. The fight on Ryloth, dope as heck.
Darth Maul, entire character arc, dope as heck.
Yeah, like, all of the Darth Maul stuff's really cool. The witch stuff.
Learning about the Mandalorians.
Yeah, like, all of those arcs are dope. And, like, they have, like, really nothing to do with, like... Well, I mean, they kind of portray characters, but, like, they're also cool stories.
Yeah.
That are really cool to see. This show does the thing where, like, you don't see Anakin and Obi-Wan... Like, the fight on Mustafar... That's it, right?
Yeah.
Is way more dramatic watching that after... Because they seem... Like, the point was, like, you're like... They wanted to seem like brothers fighting. Like, they love each other like brothers, and, like, they're that close. You don't see that in the movies. You do in this show. The way that they interact with each other in this show, they clearly care about... Like, they're clearly friends. Which, like, watching the show and getting invested in those characters and watching them fight in the movie makes it matter all the more. However, the Clone Wars movie, would you say it's relevant to watch? Like, would you recommend somebody watch it before they start the show?
Pretty much, in my opinion, the only thing that this brings to the table is it introduces in my opinion, the only benefit to watching the movie first is it introduces you to Rex and Ahsoka.
And, like, Ventress, I guess.
But she gets a proper character interaction in the first episode of the show. I mean, character introduction in the beginning of the... Like, her character introduction in the movie is about on the same level as if you were to just go in and watch the first episode of the series.
I thought she, like, fights and stuff, though. Like, she does cool stuff.
She does, but,
yeah,
like, it's...
She does nothing cool in the first episode.
Right, but it's more of a... But, like, the first episode is more of a... It feels more like a character introduction than what she does in the show. Because, like, they kind of just...
Because you actually, like, learn more about her. She doesn't just show up. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, in the movie, she shows up and fights Obi-Wan and stuff like that. And, like, the TV show, she shows up...
And, like, Yoda, says who she is.
Doesn't really do a whole lot. Yoda kind of talks about who she is a little bit. And then that gets the ball rolling to, like, as she... Each time she appears, she does a little more kind of thing.
Oh, also a cool thing about the show, you see... the Emperor, what's his name? Darth Sidious.
Mm-hmm.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Like, he uses the lightsabers and stuff at some points. We're gonna kind of wrap it up, though. Like, the movie's plot's really dumb and thin, and there's not a lot there, and it kind of is bad. However, animation. We said the positives of it. The movie's not without merit. It's like a 5 or 6 out of 10. Like, it's not great, but it's fine.
You could get by without watching it.
Yeah, there are moments in the movie that are like really cringe and bad, but like there are also moments that are kind of neat.
Mhm.
Like, again, all the action's really cool, and like there are cool set pieces for like ways they interact with things. The spaceship design that like they find, like that transport, that also continuity. They keep that throughout the show as the ship they fly around in. Like it looks cool. Like the design of things, it's cool, and like there are things they set up in the movie that like I think it's worth it. If you don't want to, if you start it and go, this is obnoxiously bad to me, start the show, give it a chance. Again, Ahsoka's kind of frustrating like the first season. However, after that, Ahsoka gets so much better, and the whole show's firing on like 7 of the 8 cylinders. It's just the Ahsoka thing's bad, and once you get past season 1, all 8 cylinders are firing for pretty much the rest of the show.
Yeah,
it's really good.
You got anything else you want to say, Sky Guy?
Dude, I forgot she does that.
I died a little bit inside every time I said that.
No, like, let's wrap it up. Hey, buy our merch, idiots.
Buy shirts for us, because we need them.
We need... High fiving, dude. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. As a heads up, the next episode you guys hear will be about Dragon Prince. There's probably going to be a break, actually. I know we talked about recording the Star Wars thing, but I didn't realize Dragon Prince is going to be out so soon.
So we're just going to do the movie, then we're going to do Dragon Prince, then we're going to come back to Star Wars and start the show. Nice.
So the next episode will be Dragon Prince, so we're not recording another episode tonight like we thought we were. However, we can just hang out if you want.
Heck yeah.
I mean, but it is like 10:30, I guess, which is late.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize what time it was. What time do you got to get up?
Well, I got to be up at 4.
Yeah, we got to be at work by 5.
Yeah.
It's cold out, so you could buy sweaties.
Baby, it's cold outside.
So buy a wax sweaty.
'Cause baby, it's cold outside.
Or maybe 19 shirts.
Baby, it's cold outside. This evening has...
Please don't drug me again.
No promises, sugar.
Why is this the best time of year, but for some reason there's a date rape song?
Actually, going off of historical context, it's not date rape. So for that kind of thing to not really socially acceptable, but like the woman would, like, socially the woman would have to be able to say, oh, I tried to like tell him no and stuff like that. So they would, even though the woman was down, she would still like push back.
I'm referring to date rape because she goes, hey, what's in this drink? And he goes, it's pretty cold outside.
What does that have to do with the little drummer boy?
Dude, I love that hashtag. We're tuning in next time.